as everybody knows, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And so Book of Boba Fett just recently dropped. The first 2 episodes are out. So kind of just talking about our thoughts. I know Jordan hasn't seen it yet. I don't know how you've not even seen Mandalorian yet. You need to get on that.
I've been busy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bull crap.
No, you have not, Jordan. No, you have not.
I have streamed over
You've
100
chosen
hours.
No,
in 10
you
days.
not
choose.
to.
If you choose to watch an hour a day, like 1 episode a day, you'll be caught up in like 3 weeks. So.
Or, you could just take some time and just watch a few episodes here, a couple episodes there, and you'll be caught up in no time.
But literally, like, if you're a Star Wars fan in any capacity, you need to watch Mandalorian. Like, it's some of the best Star Wars content that's ever came out.
But you also like
I think
Rogue
it is the
One,
best,
which
to
I
be
really
honest.
don't
I'm
like.
gonna throw it out there.
But it's got more of the stuff that you like in Star Wars, I think. I think
He
Rogue,
likes lightsaber battles.
yeah, it doesn't have those, but it's
It has action, right?
it has action.
Okay, good.
Mandalorians are
It's so
sick in
good, dude.
general. Like, I don't know. It's good.
All around, it
Like,
hits every tick box.
It's different than Rogue One. I like Rogue One because it's a good Star Wars story, but I can see why people think it's too slow or whatever. This has the pacing.
The
this
only
is
good thing
action.
about Rogue One is Darth Vader telling a pun.
I liked Rogue One because it was different from
Yeah.
the other garbage of Star Wars
And
movies.
the end scene with Darth Vader, because that is like the coolest scene almost in any movie.
Yeah,
When he's
it is good.
that scene in the,
The
hall.
coolest scene in almost any movie. No.
If you think that, then you need to definitely watch Mandalorian.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Season 2, the end of season 2,
The
it's
season
just as
finale of
good.
season 2 is better. Much better.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's much better.
So anyway, Book of Boba Fett came out.
You also got to play Jedi Fallen Order, and then
Yes,
you'll really love that.
I gave Terraria that game too.
Yeah, that was a good game. So anyway, yeah, Book of Boba Fett came out. It's the kind of continuation of what the post-credit scene from Mandalorian season 2 set up, and then also kind of giving us some backstory, some in between of like where he, where we
Jumps
see
back
him
and
at the
forth.
beginning of, his adventure in Mandalorian to like what happened with the Sarlacc. So that's been my favorite part so far.
Actually, so did you see the? I thought
Are
this
you
was
gonna
so
say
funny.
Parks and Rec.
The Parks and Rec with Patton Oswalt, and he's like, "All right, have you seen this?"
Yeah.
When he's
It's-
Patton Oswalt, he's
you see
gerrymandering, or not gerrymandering. What's the word?
He's a
Filibuster.
Filibuster.
He's
Okay.
he's doing a filibuster at the city council meeting, and he's like, "All right, now picture this: Boba Fett, hand raises from the sand, and like it's shot for shot the
It is.
same exact thing that he
Because
said."
they use that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Parks and but it's just so funny to
It
me
is
when
really
you put them
funny.
side by side because the timing is identical.
Yeah.
The description is perfect. He starts out, he's like, so the twin sons on Tatooine, camera pants down to the Sarlacc pit. Boba Fett's hand raises up out of the sand. And it's like
So
it
fun.
is word for word, like just shot for shot,
it's
exactly what happened. And I thought it was the funniest thing looking at them side by side.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So you've seen that, but you haven't watched the show?
Sorry that YouTube Shorts shows me that over anything else. Okay,
I just saw it. I saw it today actually.
No, you should just be sorry that you suck, Jordan.
But
I'm gonna go
yeah.
sit on the couch while you guys do this. Whatever.
So what are your guys' thoughts on it? I mean, coming from a Star Wars fan, this show is awesome. It's right up there with Mandalorian. What's that's been at quality wise? I think it's super good. I'm really interested to see where Boba Fett goes from here. I think it's really cool how they're really dealing with a lot of his like his personal struggles. Like you can kind of tell he's like struggling with like living up to his father, and like still dealing with that trauma because they show flashbacks from Attack of the Clones.
Dude, Django is awesome.
Django is awesome. He's the best bounty hunter around until Mace Windu killed him.
Wow, thanks. Spoiler alert.
How long has it been? I think it's a little late for
Been-
spoilers.
When did Attack of the Clones?
I think
come
that
out?
was like 2002.
2002. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Alexa,
Okay.
when did Attack of the Clones come out?
The film Star Wars, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones was released about 20 years ago on May 16, 2002.
Yeah.
I was right, 2002.
All right.
20
Big-
years, it's no longer a spoiler.
Big brain.
Yeah.
It's no longer a spoiler, though.
But yeah, so I think it's really cool to see this. I'm glad we're getting more Boba Fett. I think, he's a dope character that has been kind of not used a ton in the movies. I mean, he's kind of just there in the original trilogy, and then he gets killed. But then like legend stuff and a lot of like posts or like comics and all that stuff, like they've done a really cool job of like exploring who Boba Fett is, and I think now it's cool to see him back in live action, played by Tamir Morrison, who is the original actor who played Django in the Clones. Like that's really
Oh,
cool.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So it's the guy who played Django in the Clones.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's cool.
Which is really awesome, and it makes sense canonically. Like,
Well, he's a clone, so
Yeah.
that would make sense. Yeah.
yeah. So, I'm really pumped. There's a lot of cool things they're setting up with the whole idea that he's taking over as the new
Daimyo.
Yeah, like the new kind of ruler of Tatooine and this like big crime lord. I think it's cool. Like they set up in the last episode that they're like the two Hutt twins are like trying to fight for that power back and stuff.
Wait, the Hutt twins? There's another Jabba?
There's lots of Hutts.
There's the Hutts
The
are like
Hutts are
the
an
Hutts are a
entire
crime.
They're a
I-
crime
oh, I-
syndicate.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize that Jabba was a twin.
No,
No,
the
no.
twins. They're separate Hutt clans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There are many.
Okay,
of them.
Yeah,
got you,
so
got
that-
you.
yeah,
I thought he was saying like Jabba the Hutt was a twin. I'm like,
No,
that's
no,
that's
no.
new.
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
His
it's
cousins, I believe.
yeah,
right?
it's his cousins.
Okay, that
Yep.
makes sense then.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm really excited. And then another cool thing is there's a character that they showed off, that Wookiee.
Black Chrysanthemum?
Black Chrysanthemum. Yeah, he's a comic book character.
Yep.
And he's like the most feared Wookiee ever. Like he's just a ruthless Wookiee, and he's a bounty hunter, and it's super sick.
Dude, a Wookiee bounty hunter would be horrifying.
He's actually super crazy.
Can
he's
you
like,
imagine a
he's-
Wookiee coming after you?
He's literally like just he beat Chewbacca once.
Crazy.
On the comics, he's fought Obi-Wan and almost killed Obi-Wan. It's
What series is that in? Is it like a comic series?
yeah.
Or?
So there's a comic series of Obi-Wan. Like
It's Legends, all that stuff.
no, this
But
is
is it
actually,
actually-
It's a comic series,
yeah.
yeah.
is it canon though?
this is canon. This stuff is newer.
It is
comics.
kind of now. It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is all Marvel comics. This stuff,
Like,
all the Marvel comics are
with-
canon.
Okay.
Afra and the whole Vader plot and all that stuff.
Yeah,
He was a part of that for a bit of
Yeah.
it.
yeah, but like so, there's like a few comics that deal with like Obi-Wan protecting Luke on Tatooine, and Black Chrysanthemum was like, I think I can't remember what I think he's trying to. So it's Jabba hires him because Obi-Wan beat up a bunch of his like guys and like nobody knew who it was. So he's like, I need you to find whoever did this, and so he hires him. He goes into Luke's place because it's around there where they got beat up. So he thinks it's Uncle Owen, who is the one who beat him up. So he goes to like kill Uncle Owen, but then Obi-Wan comes in and saves him and stuff. But yeah, so he's a really cool character. I'm really excited to see him. I guarantee they're gonna fight him and Boba, and I think he might get Bosk to help him out because him and Bosk have known each other for a long, like pretty much ever, and Wookiees and I can't think of their Trandoshans hate each other. Like that's
ones
just,
are those?
so that's the lizards. Like Bosk, you remember him?
Okay.
He's the like lizard guy.
Yep, got you.
So
I don't know the races of Star
yeah,
Wars,
so
I guess.
Trandoshans and Wookiees are like notoriously hate each other. Like Trandoshans typically enslave Wookiees, and Wookiees, just hate them for that, and just
That makes
Trandoshans
sense.
hate Wookiees in general. They think they're stupid and a lot of things. So every time Trandoshans and Wookiees come into contact with each other, they hate each other. So they've fought a few times, him and Bosk, and so I could definitely see them bringing Bosk in and having, because Boba Fett knows him, so like get his help in fighting Black Chrysanthemum. But so that's gonna be cool. I'm excited about that. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe Cad Bane showing up, that'd be cool. But I think there's a lot of interesting, pathways they can take this show, and I'm excited to see where they go. I think it's cool that they're exploring kind of the criminal underworld more. I think that's a part of Star Wars that I've wanted to see more of for a long time.
It's like most of Star Wars.
So when in the
If you
Star
think about it, it's like
Kinda.
all of it.
when in the Star Wars timeline does it take
So
place?
this takes place. So
It's right after
yeah. So it takes
like
place.
right after 6?
Yeah. So it takes place. The present day parts take place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, but the first 2 episodes have been like 50-50 with like
Okay.
flashbacks. So it's like
Okay.
him present day taking over Jabba, and then it'll go back to Tank to Heel, and it'll be like dreams, which are flashbacks of like him right during Return of the Jedi, like him coming out of the
Okay.
pit, and then
Got
it's his
you.
travels. through
So
that.
they're obviously not going to tie this in with the Kenobi series at all because it's way different
Yeah.
timelines. Okay.
Yeah, Kenobi
Got
takes
you.
place right after Episode 3.
Which they have
Might
wrapped up
show
filming
up,
on that,
though.
right?
What's
It's
that?
possible that he
They have wrapped up to filming on the Kenobi series,
I don't
I
know.
believe.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I know
I think they're filming
they're
right
getting
now.
done,
Okay.
but I don't think they're done quite yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Boba Fett could show up as like, kind of younger.
Or Black K can too.
Yeah, he can. Yeah,
That's what a lot of people are hoping or thinking that he can show up.
yeah. I think that would be
But,
interesting.
Yeah, that's
That
what Sean
means
said.
well, if anything goes down with like Boba and BK, you know who else could show up? Vader.
Yeah, well, he is because Hayden Christensen's been cast as Darth Vader. So
I'm
there's
so excited for
He's
that.
in Boba though. He could show up.
oh, well, he's dead.
He's dead in that.
Is he?
Well, I guess for
It's
the
after
flashback.
Return of the Jedi. I mean,
Maybe for flashback
but even
stuff.
then, it wouldn't make sense because he's on Endor the whole time.
I guess.
He's either on Endor or the Death Star. So, yeah, Vader's dead by then. Sad. That'd be cool though. That'd be sick. But I know it's I don't know because I think I saw something that Hayden Christensen's also been rumored to be cast in Ahsoka, which is really weird because apparently
I heard
that's like after the stuff in Mandalorian. So I don't
Unless
know.
it's no, not necessarily. Unless it takes place before she becomes like the
Great
the
Jedi.
non-Jedi.
Great
you know?
Jedi?
Yeah. Even if
thought-
you want to call her that, she doesn't even call herself that though. But beforehand, when she's still Padawan, or right after, because they do meet up again.
Yeah, and they
fight
meet up
again.
in Rebels.
Yeah.
But I thought I remember hearing the show was actually like a continuation of the.
I mean, it could be flashbacks or
Yeah, I guess it's probably
like, stuff like
flashbacks.
that too.
But I'm pumped to see Hayden Christensen back, Ian McGregor back. Like they're.
Well, that's my childhood right there,
It
man.
is.
Like that's what I grew up. My favorite Star Wars movie, I still say, is 3. So I mean,
Revenge of the Sith is awesome. And
it's my favorite one. Okay,
Dave's
I love
dominating.
Vader, and so saying the
We know you love
saying
Vader.
the transition,
You know this really well.
the transition.
You know you love Vader, and Star Wars is okay. You just love Vader.
It's really true.
I mean, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying that's what I see.
He is my favorite villain ever.
he's an awesome villain. I don't even want to say he's a villain to be honest, but
Oh, he's
shut up.
he's the definition of a
Definitely a
villain.
villain.
Are you kidding me?
I guess he's a villain. I don't know.
I know. What
Imagine
you're trying to spin,
saying-
but you can't spin it.
Imagine saying
Can't.
Darth Vader's not
He's
a
a
bad
villain.
guy.
He's kind of the hero though, but
But he's not.
it's kind
But
of
he's not.
Just
He's
imagine
not.
saying that Darth Vader's not a bad guy, Logan. Like, think
I mean,
about what you just said.
Obviously, he's like
He's
I
a
don't know.
Sith Lord, but he's actually a pretty good guy. You know, he
Oh, he's just misunderstood.
he
So
does
what
no
you're saying
wrong.
kinda
That's
is,
that's
but-
saying Thanos is a good guy.
He is. He,
Logan's
But
over
he's
here
not.
pulling
He did
an
nothing
Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
he prevented the Eternals from pulling
Did he,
up
though?
their. Yeah.
Or was that immediately supposed to happen anyway?
Logan's over here pulling an
No,
Obi-Wan
he wiped
Kenobi.
out
What I
half the
said was
universe
true
and then
from a
stopped
certain point
the
of view.
Eternal from being born or whatever
For a second,
for a while because he split the population in half.
maybe.
Okay, but
Thanos was right.
just to set the record straight, Darth Vader is a villain. He is a bad guy. You cannot twist this any other
But
way.
he's the hero of Star Wars.
But he's not.
Oh my God,
Anakin.
Logan, he's a
He's
villain.
not.
Yeah. From that I get it. Obviously, I'm not saying Vader is a
I know
good
what you're
person.
saying.
I'm saying in the context of Star Wars, like the world of Star Wars, like technically Darth Vader's like the hero.
See, I'm just laughing because you're just straight up pulling an Obi-Wan Kenobi with the whole. So what I told you is true from a certain point of view.
No, it's
It
more
is.
like he was necessary, not the hero.
I would agree with that much more strongly.
But he brought balance to the Force. He did exactly.
But it was
what
necessary.
supposed
It
to
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
good.
because he killed every single Jedi, so it was 2 Jedi and 2
That's
Sith
not
left.
a hero. He wasn't a hero. He was just brought balance. That doesn't mean anything.
Balance isn't necessarily a good thing.
be. For the Force, it is though.
So killing every Jedi, so there's only 2 Jedi and 2 Sith, is a good thing.
Yeah, because
Oh my
It's-
God, Logan!
I
He's
would not-
advocating for
no.
genocide here.
No, obviously it's terrible and it shouldn't be done, but it's
okay,
It's
the
deeper,
fact that he just
deeper
did a
conversation.
but, so it's terrible and should be done,
Yeah,
but
but I can see
but
where he's
it's-
fine with
You're
murdering
under the-
children.
You're under the assumption of bringing balance to the Force for the galaxy is
Mm-hmm.
the utmost, the thing that needs to be done.
Yeah, which it does in the context of Star Wars. It
Mm.
does.
Debatable.
did it really need to be done?
Yeah,
Did it? What would happen if it didn't?
I don't. Probably. Well, the Jedi would have stayed in power, political crap, and it just would have.
So the same thing, just it flipped on a different side.
Kinda.
So nothing happens because it's always going to be what it is.
See, he's just as mad about the midichlorians still.
What are you talking about?
And so he wants to kill all the Jedi because they're full of midichlorians.
I've never hated the midichlorian stuff. I thought that's an interesting way to bring in that, how you identify force sensitive people.
No, I just find it funny over here. Like, yeah, when he slaughtered all those kids and he committed mass genocide, that's okay. It brought balance. Like, just think about what you're saying, Logan. Just take a step back and look at this.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to say like, I don't know. I try to explain how.
I know what you're saying, but
Dan understands what I'm trying to say.
Obviously, I understand it completely, but I just disagree completely.
I don't.
No, I get what you're saying as well. I also just disagree.
Like, obviously, Vader is a bad dude. Like, he's done a terrible things, but
you just said he wasn't a bad guy.
No, he's trying to do a Wreck-It Ralph thing.
I don't know.
You're saying that he even brought balance anyway because
just let me.
He did. It just shifted it back into
Jordan.
From controlled chaos into a different controlled chaos. It's a pendulum that never stops. So there's never ever really balance.
But he did bring balance.
Did he though?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it ended up being 2 Jedis and 2
2
Siths. So obviously that's balance.
And
but
then it changed to more, right?
No, because as soon as Luke became a full Jedi, Yoda died. And then, I guess...
It keeps changing though, right?
I love
more happened.
Stop digging and put down the shovel.
So there never really is balance. You can't achieve balance. It's just a never-ending trying to achieve balance.
Well, the thing is, though, is the Jedi past that point, like Luke purposely trained them in a way, like he didn't go with a lot of like the traditional like Jedi Council stuff because he knew how dangerous that was. And
there was still balance because every single Jedi that Luke trained, there was a clone of Snoke.
No.
So there
don't
was
go into that crap.
So it was still balanced. Still balanced, Logan.
That whole Snoke stuff ticks me off more than anything.
He had potential to be so cool. It was like,
really
oh no,
did.
that was a clone. Like, we're good.
He really did. I hated that stuff so much. But,
Logan's like, Jordan, you're ruining my topic.
But no. Anyway, we're kind of completely derailed here, but I don't know if you guys haven't even said your thoughts on Boba Fett yet, so let's go there.
I love playing devil's advocate with you in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things.
I know.
But I'm enjoying Boba Fett. It's not obviously it's only two episodes. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
But so far it's not Mandalorian for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like that more. But I'm not saying I dislike Boba Fett either. It started off well. I mean, it's giving you history and stuff. It's giving you what he's doing now. He's starting from scratch there too. He has to fill Jabba's or what's his face's position. The other dude, can't remember his name.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, Fortuna. And he's struggling with his way of doing things because it's obviously different.
Mm-hmm.
And like even his own people are like, are you sure you should be doing it this way? You should be doing this. You should probably just kill this person. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah, I like that.
And I like that. It's cool. He's coming into his own,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like how he's like, the Finnick is like, hey, you should probably just be riding on and like have people carry you everywhere.
No, I'll walk.
It's like he's just like, no, like I'm capable of walking. Like I want to be. He wants to be known as a respectable leader.
Yeah.
Not feared like Jabba and the Hutts are, and he wants to kind of change the dynamic of the crime family, and on Tatooine. So it's really cool to see that and to see people like not take him seriously. Like the first episode when the people are bringing him like gifts and stuff as like.
Not too many spoilers now. There may be some people out here who do want to watch it and haven't had the opportunity.
The mayor.
But yeah, like the mayor's like, oh no, you owe me. Like, where's my gift? It's like, whoa, what? But
my gift is letting you leave alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
no,
like, do you
and
really know who you're talking to?
there's a heavy emphasis on the Sand People, which is really cool.
Which that's one of my favorite
like
parts.
seeing more about the Tusken Raiders. And
there's really not much about them in Star Wars.
Oh,
no, that's
there's
what I've been
a lot.
enjoying.
There's a
In the
lot.
movies,
like,
there's not so much like that dives deep. This is starting to, and the
Well, that's what
extra,
I'm saying. Is in the past there really hasn't been much on
no,
that.
the extra movie
this-
stuff. There's a lot.
This
but
show is really going into the culture of
Mm-hmm.
the Tuscans, and it's really cool to see.
it is cool. You know,
Are they trying to make them out to be the good guys too?
Well, they
well, they kind of
are.
always
They're
been.
just people. Like
They're
the-
just natives.
They're the indigenous population that got
Yeah.
their land stolen, pretty much.
exactly.
Mhm.
Which whatever, but people don't try to understand them to try to work out.
They think they're
what
just
we can do.
savages
Yeah.
and like kill them all.
You see that in Mandalorian too, where he
Yeah.
like stops and he talks to him and stuff, and then he gets for the crate dragon,
Yep.
gets them to work with that settlement,
Mhm.
which is really cool because it's just another culture that no one understands,
Yeah,
and
I think it's interesting though. Like
it's awesome.
that Mandalorians kind of have that connection with Tuscan. Like they have that respect for them.
They're warriors.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. Like that, I think the reason why is because they have that similarity in culture. Like that, they're the kind of warrior mentality. Like this warrior tribe is like very similar to like the Mandalorian culture, and so
Well, even with like Mandalore being destroyed,
yeah,
like they're out of their own home. Like people came to their home and took that from them, even though technically Mandalorians were totally warlike, going everywhere trying to kill people. But
yeah. Well,
but besides that fact, kind of like they're, I don't know, exiled almost.
yeah,
Exiled warriors having to deal with everyone else, like in a strange place. Well, kind of the Tusken Raiders. They're on their world, but they are exiled from what
Yeah.
they want or what they should have
and
had.
people take everything from
Yeah.
them, and and like the Mandalorians, like like they got their place destroyed by the Empire, and not all the Mandalorians are like that. Like some factions,
no.
it's just one main radical faction is the ones that go out and kill, but like for the most part they were just wanting to live in Mandalore peacefully.
So Chucko gave a little thing there. I honestly, because I haven't seen this, I have no idea what he's talking about. So if you guys want to touch up on that comment, maybe.
Oh yeah. So Tamir Morrison's brought some of his cultural
Like the
stuff
Haka
into-
stuff?
Yeah.
So is he a director? Who's that?
He's
Boba.
Boba.
He's Boba.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah.
Django,
Okay, that's
Clone,
that guy.
he's-
Okay.
He's the actor.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he's brought some of his own like flair and like some of his culture into stuff, which is really cool. You see that with
The last episode, the Haka dance around when he becomes a warrior.
Yep.
Like the rite of passage
yeah,
he does.
like he becomes a
Got you.
kinda
Okay.
honorary Tuscan.
That
Yeah.
makes sense then. I
Yep.
guess
But
he creates his own weapon.
and also just like
You
a
know.
lot of the choreography for like the what is it, gaffy sticks fights.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of
Sure,
taken
yeah,
from
yeah.
his tribe as well.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, that's
Well, that's
pretty
kind
cool.
of cool then.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is
It's
cool.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I really have enjoyed seeing this side of like the world of like fleshing out the Tuscans and making them, more like people than just these savages.
They make
that-
them relatable.
exactly.
So is this something that, for those of us like me who have yet to see The Mandalorian, does this need to go? Do I need to watch that before?
Yes, because you have
Also,
to
who
watch.
just kicked the microphone cables?
No, that was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, 'cause my mic just all of a sudden like did this, and I was like,
Yep.
what the heck was that?
I was gonna say that wasn't me.
Yeah, so you have to watch.
You gotta watch Mando 1 and
Watch
2.
that first, and
yeah,
then watch
technically,
this.
I mean, you could technically watch
You're-
like parts of Boba Fett, but you
You're
probably
gonna
should just
miss
watch.
things.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you can watch like the flashback stuff, because obviously the flashbacks go straight from him in the Sarlacc, and they're filling in the gaps between what happens between Return of the Jedi and then Mando season 2. But I definitely I'd say watch Mandalorian first, because you get some more. I mean, there's not a ton that happens with Boba Fett as a character, but it sets him up on the story that he's
Yeah.
going to.
Okay.
It
in Boba
reintroduces him and then
Yeah.
gives him a bit of screen time,
Fett. Mhm.
and then introduces Fennec obviously as
Yeah.
well, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of allows you to see where he goes after that. After
Yeah.
everything's done.
Which I wish I could talk about it, but Jordan hasn't seen it. But I kind of wish he would have stayed at that one part at the finale. I would have loved to
Yeah.
seen that reaction.
But he was kind of his he did what he needed to do at
Yeah,
that
he
point.
just- Which that I love about Boba is just like going back to like the respect side of his character, like the fact that what happens I'm not gonna go into it, but the stuff that happens in season 2 of Mandalorian, he could have just been like, all right, well, see ya, I got my stuff back, so I'm going. But no, like he's actually honorable and respectable, and he's like, I've made this deal with
It
you,
looks
and I'm
like
gonna
he
honor it.
learned that from the Raiders. I think he might have.
I think he's
just like
always
kind
I
of
think
a
he's
warrior's
always had
code.
that. I think he's
It's
always
kind
had
of-
that. I think because
Or it cemented it at least.
yeah, because if you look at the history of Boba and Django, like a lot of the reason why Django is an honorary Mandalorian, and he's considered a Mandalorian not because he's of blood, but because of culture and like they've inducted him in,
They're not a
is-
race. They're a creed.
is because of like
Except they are
the when he, because of when Django, fought with the Mandalorians, like they saw that and like they're very similar in that respect culture, and like they pass it on to Boba, of course, who teaching him while he could, and then obviously being the same person technically, but because
I'm raising myself.
yeah, that would be interesting. Say like you'd be that'd be weird.
Could he ever get away with anything? Because Dad knows what I'm thinking because he's thought
See,
it before.
But this is I feel like this is a whole different discussion. But like Woody though, because technically I feel like more than half of what makes you a person is your life experiences.
Or grown behavior or
Yeah, so obviously
Your
genetics play a
upbringing
huge part
and
into things, but like at the end of the day,
environmental
like
behavior
if you're
Nurture.
not
just
brought
in
up in the
general.
same
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd be much
environment.
different if I were the same person that grew up in, like, let's say, the UK.
yeah
Like, I would not be anywhere close to being the same person.
yeah.
Yes, but you got to think that like maybe he has an unconscious tell when he lies. Or
Well, I mean,
something.
yeah, that could
Yeah.
be a thing. I mean, so those
Oh,
things
yeah,
would be the
that's
same.
Gandhi.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
those
that
would
stuff.
those would be the same. But like overall as a person, he's not going to be thinking
Oh,
the
yeah.
same things. And
He has
I mean,
a father
Yeah,
that is himself, but you know,
I'm
So
raising
the-
myself. But
I don't know Django's upbringing, so
yeah, there's not a whole lot of like that I can think that I've read or watched.
they
about
probably
his
just want to keep him
backstory.
kind of mysterious because
He's kind of
that
just
is
like
cool.
a lot of the stuff that I know is just like the game, Bounty Hunter. It's like a GameCube game.
I think I had that.
It's a fun game.
That's
but-
the one that has. I'm trying to think of like the cover art has Django like kind of coming out on this
He's like,
jetpack
yep.
with the. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I did have
yeah,
that.
that's
yeah.
a great game. I love
Yeah.
that game. But yeah, like we don't get a ton of like previous before like he was known as like the best bounty hunter. Like that's kind of just where we're at. I think there's probably something out there. I just even being a huge Star Wars fan, like there's so
there will
much
be eventually.
legends
People
and
keep making stuff.
yeah,
so.
there's so much legends and lore. Like it's really hard to know and see every bit of it.
One thing I like about Star Wars though is the fact that Boba Fett realistically was not a big character in the original
Oh, he's
trilogy,
not.
and he had like 3 lines of dialogue the entire trilogy.
We
but yet,
talked about this earlier. Man.
Yeah,
But yet-
I brought that up.
but yet he has like a huge like fan base and everyone loves him, and he's like one of the most beloved characters from the
Just 'cause he had
original.
cool armor.
It is. I mean that's
And
exactly
That's
it.
it.
He just was cool in general. Like he just like
He was
the
mysterious.
way
his
he
jetpack.
carried himself.
Yeah.
Like that's
Wasn't
what
some
I,
of that cardboard on the original costume? Like this,
Probably.
I think I remember hearing they made it out of cardboard. for
But
the original.
Possible.
Like some of it was. It
that's
looks
the-
really good though.
That's one of the things I love about Star Wars is like these characters that you don't see hardly at all.
There's a whole backstory.
There's something there that you just like draw to because like the way they carry themselves, the way they talk, or
Even
the
if
way
you
they
get nothing from them.
yeah,
If they're just there
it's
for
awesome.
a second, there's an aesthetic and appeal to it.
Yeah, like Empire
You
with
get that from Bleach.
with Boba Fett, like the Empire, like how
It was
he's
the
like
same with Bleach.
You guys in your anime.
it
It's
is
great.
Shut up, Jordan.
Bleach is
You know you want in.
but
I don't though.
well, like the whole plot, like in Empire with him and like just being there to take Boba or take Han, and he's like just there. He says like maybe if I think
Put
he says a
Captain
few-
Solo in the cargo
Yeah.
hold.
and it's like
That's about
literally,
it.
That's all he says. But like the whole time, like he's just silently there behind Vader, and it's like this is awesome. This character's sweet. So
Yeah, he's a really cool character for sure. I love when they can take, I don't want to say no name characters, but like the side characters
Yeah.
and they can give an
they're
entire
fleshed out.
backstory.
That's what I love about these shows.
Because
so far.
there's a lot of stuff too, and I know you guys are like, "Oh, he's talking about it again." But like in the Elder Scrolls series, there's so much backstory with
Yeah.
like these characters that you maybe will hear mentioned once in the dialogue of the game,
Mm-hmm.
but then if you go look at the books in the game itself, like you start looking into it, there's an entire story about this character that's mentioned one time.
Yep, that's
That's
Star
one
Wars.
thing that's different though.
And
like,
I
it's all
love when they do
thought
that.
out. Like,
Well, yeah.
It's all thought out and planned, and like people spend years, like
Let me
teams of
guess.
people just to do
You're gonna
that.
say Star Wars, is it?
It's not.
Oh, my God.
No, but
You
it
think
is really.
he had any idea about any care of what he's gonna do with half the people? in
Yeah.
the
George
original
Lucas was
trilogy?
not thinking, in
No,
2022,
he had
I think
no
we're going to
care.
have Boba
Well,
Fett.
George Lucas also.
It's as you go along, you create more.
George Lucas also has. He planned ahead quite a bit, but he didn't plan ahead.
Well, not
past-
this
Did
much.
he though?
He did,
Not this much.
man.
No.
No,
No.
well, obviously not this much because he sold the company.
What happened
He
is
hasn't planned
because
stuff in a while. He did plan the sequels, and his sequels from like his rough drafts and stuff are actually
They're
way
probably
better.
way better.
They are way better. It
To
takes-
be fair,
so-
the sequels that Disney produced were not very good.
So his
I know we've talked
sequels-
about this a lot.
His sequels were originally supposed to take place not like 20 years or so after the original trilogy, but instead like a few years, and it was Luke training the new council on Coruscant, and he got married to this her name is Mara, I think it was, and he had a kid named Ben Skywalker because he named it he had a
Mara
few kids.
Jade.
Mara Jade, yes, Mara Jade, that's her name. And he had 3 kids.
That's legend stuff.
Yeah, and this was going to be the sequel trilogy until Disney bought him out and stuff.
Yeah.
Bought it, and so like it was supposed to be like a lot. They adapted some of it into the sequels, like the whole Ben Solo thing. Like the Ben Skywalker stuff was from that. Like he was turning because Mara Jade was like this kind of dark, not Sith, but she was kind of a dark.
She was a
Jedi.
Sith.
Oh yeah, she was.
She
a
was a
Sith.
Padawan.
That's right.
She's Vader's Padawan, isn't she?
I can't remember.
I think she was,
so.
and then she was someone's Padawan, one of the Sith Lords, and then they sent her after Luke.
Yeah, and then
Luke.
she was. That's right. That's
And
right. I
then,
remember this now.
Like she had a mental cue or something, like she had to kill him.
Yep.
And then they, got together and they
Yep.
eventually fell in love.
Yeah.
Yep. Fell in love.
She ended up having to kill like a clone or something to get rid of the mental
Yep.
block.
That's right.
So they could be together. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for the sake of time, though, it has been 30 minutes on this.
Oh jeez.
So
Yeah, he said
we
Mara
should
Jade.
probably get moving on
Yeah.
at some point.